Thank you everyone for joining us today. I would now introduce the speaker, and it's very interesting how Gauri and I are connected. But maybe that's a story for a separate time. But for today, we have Gauri with us to walk us through how to use patent analytics as an ideation tool. Gauri is the managing director of her firm, which has been running for 4 years, and she's also our collaborator for investing in talent and innovating. She is a patent agent. She is also a facilitator and she has helped innovators in not just filing their applications. She also helps them in the ideation process. And that is what I like the best about her because she doesn't leave her innovators alone. She will completely handhold them till the end. And she's not just leaving them after the filing step, she also helps in commercialization. So it's a complete chain reaction that she takes care of, and I'm very happy to welcome her here today. Thank you, Gauri. And I'll leave the stage to you now to take over the session.
Thank you, Pooja. Yes. So, good morning, everybody. So I would like to ask you one question that what you would like to know about the patents? Exactly, do you have any idea regarding the patents or what you think about it, how the patent system works?
This is Rajesh. I think what we have is more theoretical knowledge. So we make electric vehicles and we look for IPs and other things. So we might want to get more insights on how we identify the IPs.
Yes, right. So there is not only patents, but there are different types of IPs like trademark, copyrights, geographical indications, SICLD. And the patent system basically works on the principle where you need to disclose your things, inventions, and then you will get a patent. It means it's about the disclosure. So in patent, you will write down the information, which is the technical one, and also there is some data which is non-technical. So when you file a patent application, you need to disclose the technical information inside a patent. With that, non-technical information also comes. And after that, you will get, after the grant of the patent, you will get the exclusive right over that technology for the manufacturing. So you will manufacture that product and sell it into the market for a period of 20 years from the priority date, right? That is nothing but the patents. Let's go ahead. Patent and the technology information. So when you see a patent document, suppose you are having a patent document like this. So are you able to see this? This is a US grant. Yeah, this is the US granted patent. And you can see there are some points written here like 12, number 54, 71, 72, 73. Asterisk mark is there, right? So abstract is here. Below that, the figure of abstract is there. So all these things are included in the patent document, right? So do you know about the kind codes?
Yeah.
No, okay. So this is actually a new topic to you because a patent containing non-technical things like non-patent literature. Also, bibliographic data is there where the patent number is listed, date of patent is listed. Also, the status of patent is listed like here the number of patent is US 9232868B2. So what is the meaning of B2 and how we can only looking at the patent document, we can see where it is likely, where the file is, and is it published with the international search report or without a search report. So we can track that things as well by just looking at the patent document. So this data is actually very useful while doing a patent analytics. So there are different types of codes like IPC, CPC classification codes, kind codes, and there are other US courts as well. So patent information is nothing but about the data contained in a patent application. And it's not only the applications, but in the granted patent application. So this one is a granted patent application. Also, there is technical data, which you can see below that, where the description is given, figure of abstract is given, and the drawings in a detailed views are given. So this is the vast amount of data, and why this data is need to be organized. Do you have any idea about the data science or data organization? So how we can use the data for development of the different types of patents? Do you have any idea that by using the patent data, we can develop the different type of patents? Okay. So what happens now when any client come to me? So he just having an idea. He don't have any clarity about the patent things. Sometimes it happens. And they think that ki what they invented, they think that ki it is a novel. But the first criteria in the patent system to grant a patent is it's novel, and it should be a novel throughout the world. So throughout the world, we need to check the novelty of the patent. So for that, we need to check the patent information in different databases regarding the technical information of that patent, right? Another thing is that it should have a technical advance. Technically, it should be advanced. So we need to go through each and every patent, which is the relevant one, and we need to cross-check upon the technical features of the invention, right? So these two things are very important, that is novelty and technical improvements. After that, the industrial application comes. So on these three bases, the patents are granted in India. In US, there are six, earlier it is a six criteria. Now they are having five different types of criteria to grant the patent. But throughout the world, these three criteria are very important. That is novelty, patentability, and industrial application. So how we can use the patent data or patent information to avoid any kind of things which are from our early case of patent filing. So before filing a patent, if you want to develop your technology in a better way, so you can go for technology transfer as well. This patent information plays a very important role. So these points were listed, that is to avoid the duplication of the research and the development work. Also, to improve the existing product or patent, we can find out the gaps through white space analysis, and according to that, we can develop the patent. Also, we will understand the latest trends in the development process, or what are the market's trend in the technology. By means of this, just looking at the patent information or the patent landscape. Also, if we see that cross-licensing kind of things will happen in between the different companies, when we check the non-technical data, in that case, we will understand that these two or three or multiple companies having the cross-licensing between each other for a particular patent. So to avoid the infringement in that scenario, also we can make a claim mapping by which we can invalidate the claims, and on the basis of that, we can suggest that is it infringing or not. So the patent data is very important to avoid the earlier the cost which will going for after the filing of the patent. If infringement comes, then it is a very costly process to go ahead with the prosecution, right? Also, if suppose there are kind of patents which are required in the market, but they haven't filed yet. So to understand the market requirement or the market niche, we can see the patent information first. We need to see it, we need to analyze it, and on the basis of that, then we will think on developing anything or improve anything. Okay. So there is the steps which we need to see to go for the patent analysis, where the keywords are playing a very important role, such as keywords are nothing but the keywords from the technical data as well as non-technical keywords as well. Like patent classification codes can be used as a keyword. Also, data ranges or numbers can be used as keywords. Like suppose any patent is granted and its number is there, you are having that number, then also you can use that as a keyword. Also, applicant and assignee names or inventor names can be keywords. Also, the specific data fields like citation or reference informations can be used as a keywords to strategize and use the patent search information. So there are, I have two questions regarding this session. So do you know that non-patent literature is also plays an important role in patent information? Yes. Dr. Santosh, who is talking? Yeah, no one is there. Okay. So non-patent literature is also needed to be checked. Okay. And that is also plays a very important part while making any product. Okay. Suppose the existing product, any product is in the market, but they haven't filed a patent for the product. Okay. But they are selling the product in the market. Then it will comes under the prior art, and we cannot file a patent on it. Right. So what are the different strategies you are actually taking while making any search patent documentation? So anyone from the team, can you elaborate this one? Hello. Yeah. Okay.
See, I think the majority of us are here to learn. Probably, at least I, for one, I will come here to learn, and probably I may not have any prior experience in all this, man.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So I'm happy to give you the insight over the same, and happy to assist you in the learning process. So you can connect with me. Okay.
Sure. Can I ask you a question now, if it is not an
Hi.
interruption?
Yes. Yes. No problem.
See, couple of slides earlier, you said the novelty has to be in different geographical regions also. For example, if I am applying for a patent in India, one of the things I understood from you in this session is that I should check whether any other country has a similar patent. Now, does that
Yeah.
mean that I cannot patent something in India where a patent already exists in any other country, say Europe?
Yes, yes, right. The same thing, yes. You understood in a better way, because the novelty is not only about the India, it is a novelty throughout the world. So
Thank
many
you.
people don't know about it. So we need to check in each and every country that if the patent is granted, which is similar to your technology or not. If it is not, then also you have to check for the non-patent literature. Okay. And then after, if the search report comes 99% right, because we cannot search for 100%, then we can go for a patent filing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Gauri, if I could just add on to the answer that you have given. So when we
Yeah.
have a patent in another country and you want to file it in India, then yes, it does matter where it is filed. Even if there's a document which is in different language, that could be used as an evidence. So I would give you an example of CSIR's case where they had stopped the neem patent from getting granted because we had a document in Sanskrit which stated the use of neem as an insecticide. So any document anywhere on this earth in any language could affect the novelty and the inventive step. So that is a very interesting concept. But to continue with this one, I'll leave it to Gauri now. Thanks, Gauri.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's see. There are some patent information tools we are using, and there are some paid tools as well, and non-paid tools as well. They are available free of cost, like Google Patents, eSpaceNet is there, Patent Buddy, Patent Scope, USPTO database is there. Okay, so EPO Open Patent Services, European Patent Register, Global Dossier, and PatSnap. So these are few of them. So have you using any paid databases? Hello?
We are not using any.
Yeah, I'm unable to hear anything. You are not. Okay, okay. So if you don't have any paid database, then you can directly go for Google Patents or eSpaceNet or Patent Scope. These are best one. Okay, and they are not paid databases. They are available. Patent Scope, it is available on WIPO website. So just you need to type like a Google Patents and just go for it. Okay, and there is a strategy. You need to make keywords and the key strings to search and to reduce the search string. So reduce the search options. In that way, you have to strategize the keywords and the key string, and then after you will get the search report. So you have to go through each and every patent in a detailed way, and then after you will analyze that data, and you will understood that which type of patents are available and which are not available, what is the technical development, and what need to be done the new in that case, and is it possible we can file a patent with our technology or not, or is it infringing on any other's patent application or not. Okay, so about patent analytics, it is nothing but the use of patent information to uncover innovation, insights, and patterns in a particular area or a technological field. It means that we are just making the good use of patent information and presenting that patent information to uncover the insight of the innovation and also the market trends. So that we are doing in the patent analytics, and for that so for that there are landscaping of patent is done. That is a part of patent analytics, we can say. And that technological landscape will give you the insight over the technology, its developments, its licensing, its white space as well. Okay, so it is nothing but a data driven. It is evidence based, as there are already available things are there, and on the basis of that we are providing the analytics. Okay, and due to that we can make the better strategic decisions in area of research and development. Also for the innovation policies or IP commercialization and licensing, it is very helpful. In research and collaboration also it is helpful, because we are getting a data for innovators, and also the company data is there. So in that case also we are getting the good insight where we can collaborate for our technology. Suppose we are developing a technology B, and it need a technology A as a base. So for developing a technology B, if the technology A is already in the patent and its time is not expired, patent is not expired, so we need to collaborate with the patent holder for the technology A, and then we can proceed with the research on the technology B. So these things are also important, and for that patent analytics gives the insights. So what should be necessary framework to identify the problems? So firstly, we need to find out the scope of the work, which is very important and the prior most. So find or define the scope and context of the work. Then have to gather information regarding the same through the databases. Identify the symptoms and the effects. Okay. Then revert back, go again back to brainstorming the potential things which we are looking for. Then verify the assumptions and the constraint where we cannot go, and according to that develop the things. Okay, so document findings and again you can reiterate and refine the things. So this is the framework which we are also using for the identification of the problems. This is the landscape report published on WIPO for the COVID-19 vaccine and therapeutics. So it will look like this. So the biologies are given, top protection jurisdictions are given, like world, Chinese, US, Canadian, TE and EP. So these things are given. Also, you can see by this data, patent filing across the time. In between June 2022, the highest rate of filing is there. Then after it will decline in December 2020. In June 2021, there is 0 patent filings or minimum. And after again that, in December 2021, the rate slightly increased. So the potential filings are done in South USA, Mexico, and in China and European Union. You can see on this data, right? So what are the problems? The problems we are facing here regarding the technology is we don't have insight over the technologies. So there is a development, huge development in the technologies in day-to-day manner, and we don't know that who is inventing what, right? So that is one of the problem, lack of technology insights. So we need to find out that, and we can find out that by using patent analytics. Another thing is that intelligence gap, competitive intelligence gap is there that need to be catered. R&D, research and development investment prioritization need to be done, because suppose you are developing X thing and that X thing is already developed by another party, then it is useless to you if they are prior to you. So in that case, you have to prioritize that in which research or in which development you need to invest your money, right? For that, the patent analytics plays a very important role. Also, the intellectual property risks are there. Suppose a patent is already in the public domain and it is not filed, but you want to get a patent over the same, then definitely you will not get it. Also, the infringement risks are there. So there are different types of patent IP risk. So you need to cater it before going into the market. So for that, the freedom to operate, it is also the best option before launching your product into the market. In a specific territory, you need to find out the FTO for that specific territory. Okay. Another thing is that if you are wanted to sell your technology or license your technology to any party, so to identify that, it will help a very important role. So do you know that how the patent value is calculated? Is anybody can answer this question? Do you know about the patent value? And is it reflected in the patent document? Yeah, okay. So patent value, it is need to be calculated and it is always not reflected in the patent document. Patent document, it is all about the technical information given inside the patent and some non-technical information. But patent value, we need to find out by studying that patent and by studying the patent with the market trends and the existing technology which is available. So technology replacement cost and other things we need to study to find out the patent value. So yeah, any questions?
Yeah, hi, Ajesh here again.
Yes.
Just to give a little bit insight, we work on a EV vehicle and some tech along with that. So when
Yes.
we build those techs, there are 2 points of the story where we keep hearing that whenever we file for a patent, then there are people who actually give those documents to other competitors and other big guys as well. So my question is, obviously we have to file for a patent. Would it be good to file it once we have made the prototype or a product, or it is good to file it before?
So there is one condition. If you file a patent application on the today's date, okay. So within
Hmm.
12 months, you need to file a complete specification. Suppose you filed a provisional specification today, which data you are having currently, okay. And
Okay.
if you will get a complete data regarding your patent or a product within a 12 months, then it is good to file today, okay. So that is 12
Okay.
months timeline there, okay.
Hmm.
Right. So if you are having a total data regarding R&D, your product is ready, at least the ideation phase is ready and the proof of concept is established, then you can go for the patent. Otherwise, I will suggest ki, if it is not ready, if the proof of concept is not established, then don't go for the patent because you will lose the priority over that if you will not going to file it in within 12 months.
Okay. But also
Yeah.
one thing what everyone keeps talking about is also which is in the news and also if you search Google, patent theft by existing players is also
Yeah.
very prevalent in this market. So when you're trying to come with a very, very unique solution, obviously once you have to give the patent document, you give an extensive amount of data in that. And it's easy for someone to just take it and recreate it with the full resources and the tech. How do we
Yes.
protect ourselves against that?
No, that is patent system works on that. You are disclosing and then you are getting the patent. That is
Correct, but
the
once I disclose it's, oh, you know how it is over here and abroad also.
if
So
you are filing a
it can be
patent now,
taken by
if
others.
okay, if you are
Gauri,
going for the
if I can answer the question. So, Ajesh, I appreciate and understand your concern. But in the patent or IP filing, once you file the application, it is published and it is open to anyone. So, and if people are copying from there, then since you have filed the application, you have the right of, stopping them. But you can stop them once you have the grant. But I would also suggest that, once you have any idea or you have created something, start doing the search part beforehand so that you know what all is there in the market already, where you are there any similar patterns, so that if you have any modifications to done, you have that sufficient amount of time before you file a patent application. And once the patent application is filed, from the date of filing, you get the protection for your invention. But you can only sue them once you have the grant. But the damages that you get would be from the date once they have started infringing on your right. I'm sorry, it is too confusing, but I'll try to make it very simpler for you. So, say supposing you have you. I'm just giving a very very simple example. We have created a lemonade. Now that lemonade is being sold in the market, and somebody else replicates it. So you can sue the other person once you have the complete rights on it. Unless and until you have the complete rights, you cannot sue the other person and stop them from selling using the same recipe.
Okay.
Uh,
That brings a good point, and I think that's what I wanted to ask also. Like
sure.
a great example of a lemonade, right? It's as simple as a lemonade things. But now
I'm
you have
sorry.
once you no, no, that's great. Actually, it's easier for us also to actually ask something similar in that context because see
Sure.
now there are say now when you go for a patent there are like 5 squeezes of lemon. There's so much of salt, sugar, and all these things are added, right? And then you make the lemonade, and this is what you patent for. Now someone can come and say that I'm adding a proprietary agent. I'm using something different process, and they can take the same thing and do it. And this has happened across the globe also. It's the same product made, but this the patent process is little different, and they are had these. And this is where for us small innovators and inventions it becomes difficult because it takes a lot of money and resources for companies to do it. But beyond that, they don't have the intellectual capital to do it because most of them are employees. So it comes from us like innovators who put the time and effort to build it. But then once they know it, they just change few modifications and changes and all those things because the document is extensively
Written. Yeah.
asked. So what happens is they can, even if I file it after 3 months or 5 months or 6 months, they will file it and they will be able to do it faster. So this protection is somewhere uh, could be how could we negate this or reduce to an extent where we can possible. I know it is not possible to not have it at all or eradicate it at all, but some safety measures that we can take as a precautionary measures.
Sure. So when we draft the patent applications, what we usually do is we don't include the know-how part. We generally avoiding the adding the know-how part. Secondly, uh, I always suggest innovators to create a portfolio around the inventions and the IP that you have rather than, just focusing on one particular form. So there are different forms of IP. So if you have a portfolio, even different patterns on different aspects of the entire invention, that is useful because it's making you stronger. And if
Okay.
they are finding it somewhere else, they will anyways not get it because once your application is published, that patent office would get to know that your application is already published before them, so they won't get a patent on it. But you can only stop them from copying and selling your thing if you have filed your patent application in that particular country. So अगर आपने India में file किया and there's somebody doing it in China, you won't be in a position to stop them unless and until you have a Chinese application. So,
Yeah.
so, and plus there is a lot of IP management you could do where you keep a track of people who is infringing. But as the saying goes, you will only try to catch a bigger fish rather than a smaller fish. Uh, so, you will need a lot of competitive intelligence and tracking to be done to be sure that nobody is copying what you have created. If that
Ajesh,
makes
allow
sense.
me to interrupt. Yeah, Ajesh, allow me to interrupt.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, please do.
See, this was the question I first asked, right? Now, in the very example you took, if I am trying to patent something in India, nothing stops nothing stops a guy in China from doing that, right? But was that not the first question where you answered, even if you file it in one country, before filing, you should check everywhere, right? So, does that not contradict? I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
No, so what I was saying is that if you have an application in India and somebody is copying it in some other country, you can only stop them if you have a patent there. But that person in that other country cannot file an application in that country because you have a patent application filed. So let me give you an example. I am in US. Gauri is in India. She files an application on the limited in India. I like the recipe. I try to replicate it, file an application on the same thing. But I won't get the patent because Gauri has filed it before me. She it's been published. It is an prior art which is there. So my application is null because there's a prior art which is existing. So there are two
Thank
different
you.
things. You could have the novelty part and you could have uh, the the right to sue somebody if you have filed an application in a particular country. So Gauri can't come and fight with me if she has not filed an application in US.
Got it. Thank you. Ajesh, you have more? You want to go ahead?
No, I think I'll have one-on-one because there is a lengthy discussion that can go on in this patents. Uh,
Sure.
because my whole point is because we have seen for us we are making novelty things, we are making unique things, but these would be of very, very high value for another competitor globally as well. So what happens is, for us, we are always in a dilemma. Should we go for an IP and get it? Because we know by that 50 to 70% of the time it will be taken over by someone else beforehand itself. So that's where we always have a dilemma whether we should file for a IP right away in India, because we can't. The limitation of capital is where I can't file a global IP. Whereas the leader in this is US, who have a lot of money and they only wait for IPs. They don't go for anything else. So it is easier for them to take it from unique players and from rest of the world and immediately file an IP in the US. So that becomes a bottleneck for us also.
Well, I do have some tips, Sajesh, but let's have a one-on-one so that I could understand better and give you more information on how we can deal with it.
Definitely, thank you, ma'am. If you can share your information later or however, that would be great.
Sure, we will do that.
Yeah,
Now
I
that you
have a
have taken
question.
an example of a lemonade, just 1 second, Deepak.
Yeah.
Since you have gone ahead to take the example of a lemonade, I'll ask you a stupid question. With so much of strict protocols around for patenting globally, now how does Ola and Uber coexist and compete?
Well, if we take the same example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi also exist. So there
Yeah,
will always,
exactly.
so there'll always be competitors around us. As an entrepreneur, I would say there will always be competitors. Sometimes you'll be happy about it, sometimes you won't be. But then we all have something unique in ourselves. So our invention would differ from the other competing parties, and the way we are implementing it will also differ. So, um, you could say that me and Gauri are competitors because we are in the same space. But then our expertise and our talent and our skills are completely different, and we are catering to different people. So that is how you bring in the differentiation. If that answers your question, Kamal.
Yes, definitely. Before I hand you over to Deepak, just one more question. Extrapolating what Ajesh was discussing. Let's say, for example, I invent a product that has a nut attribute of three, number three. Okay. Now somebody else is reinventing or copying my product the same way, except that three number nut becomes a five number nut. I'm taking a very 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 simplistic example. Now that is still patentable, right?
No. So when we look at the inventive step part, it becomes obvious that you are extending the number of nuts. And secondly, when I'll be doing the drafting of the application, and I think Ori could also add on to it, when we draft the application, we do a lot of combinations and permutations to ensure that we have maximum coverage within the scope of the invention.
Okay.
Gauri, would you like to add to it?
Yes. Okay. Suppose you have invented a three number nut, right? So
We
it
both
means
are.
that
We both are. I'm sorry. I'll repeat that question. We both are
so
doing the same product. Okay. Probably the second guy is trying to change the specifications differently and still becomes patentable. Is that a possibility? Was my question.
they can draft a specification differently, but they should not there are types of infringement where willfully they are doing the infringing your product. It means that you can sue for him on the basis of that. You can prove that it is a willful infringement case.
Okay. Thank you.
Similarly, if
That
you are
also calls for a.
replacing, similarly, Kamal,
Please
if
go
you are
ahead.
replacing one ingredient, like in lemonade, if I instead of salt, Gauri has filed it with saying salt, white salt, or whatever salt, and I file an application saying rock salt, right? So the ingredient remains the same, though it is a different variant. So I won't get a patent application because it is obvious.
But just
Understood.
to add
Thank
to
you.
the
So
point, Kamal, like how you mentioned is basically Pepsi and Coke and all these things, they can't get a patent because it's similar. But obviously they add something called as a proprietary, and that's the reason for my question as asking is proprietary, because no one knows what the proprietary formula is. And I think a good example is Coca our own Parley. It didn't take any patents for anything gold spot or thumbs up. And so the US, when they bought it, they immediately went and filed for IP so that no one can else do it. So that's I think a very classic example of why we should have an IP probably.
Yes, and the joke
And that's why,
is that, Coke says that its formula is a trade secret, and in reality, it isn't. So you just keep telling people, "ये trade secret है, ये trade secret है," but it's already there, open everybody knows the formula. Their competitors definitely know it, but they still portray that it is a trade secret. So that is the joke which goes in the IP world, that there is no trade secret, but they do it that way.
so in reality, the second guy who is trying to copy the first one should engage smart ones like Gauri and Pooja and then get away with it.
No, we never help them getting it away. We stand on the right side. Don't worry.
Thank you. Deepak, over to you, man. Sorry.
Yeah. Hi. So hi guys. So when you spoke about no white space analysis, so yeah, I come from Ajesh's team, and we are in this EV space. So what happens in the I have two things to put here. So what Ajesh's standpoint was more of how we look at from the financial aspect of patent filings. Being inventors, not many of us are from core research background or do not have exposure to most of the process related to IP. Identifying, filing, and stuff. We just come up with ideas, and we need partners like you guys who can help us with that. And coming up with ideas also something, most of the cases you might not be the first one with the idea. There might be like already four people with idea, and then you go around and find what is unique within you, or you try to reinvent, or like you try to rephrase your invention to find uniqueness, to have some protection on those grounds. So my question here is like usually we see in the country, mostly most people do not know about portfolio of patents, and most people do not know about protecting the patent as an ecosystem also. When we Is it advisable to start with the white space analysis and then go for the patent, even in terms of any form of research related to patent, or even doing the provisional, or how is it? And secondly, how is it possible for a startup in terms of purely material standpoint, who has probably less amount of capital to invest in, investing in hiring a great agency that is going to do a great white space analysis and give us high probability of getting our patents granted?
Yes. So, Deepak, I will suggest you, if suppose your product is already in the market, suppose you want to develop a helmet, suppose, huh? And you know that there is so many market players for that product, okay? And you want to redesign that product in a different way. For that, you need a white space to understand the technological gaps, and according to that, you will design, and then after manufacture it, and then you want to sell it, right? So
Right.
in that case, you will go for the white space. But suppose you are developing a technology and you 199% sure that it is not exist. Okay, suppose you are doing something regarding a cancer drug, and you know that there is probably there is very less chances that no one is developing that kind of thing, right? So in that case, there is no need to go for the white space. But in the products where already the market players are there, and you want to find out the gap in the
Yeah,
technology.
I understand. So I would like to, sorry to interrupt, but the space like EVs and most of consumer electronics and appliances is a white space, and it's a white space, like huge area, and it's highly commoditized. And any patents will have conflicts because there are a lot of inventions and ideas, even from the late, like even a couple of decades ago, that might have been like there had been concepts of EVs, right? And when I'm coming up with a new EV, I need to go ahead and think on the direction or the new trend in innovation. And so this is like, it is a very narrow area where we maneuver through, and we always have the inventor's bias on what I am thinking is going to be unique. But no, you have to go out there and see what is that. And from that standpoint is what I'm thinking. Mostly I think in our area it is highly recommended to go with the white space analysis and then make a strategy to design the entire patent portfolio. And that's how I see industries work, and I see competitors do it. So,
Yes, yes.
as a startup, how should we? So, imagine I'm starting something new today, and I have like, okay, I'm getting grants, I'm having like couple of lakhs. I should be like managing my money and like making this product also, and still make sure I have the right protection so that I can run longer with this. So, how should I see this? Like, what will be your advice on this perspective?
In this case, actually, you are investing a lot of money. The research
Yeah.
is also very important thing, and in that case, I should suggest that you have to strategize with the patent analytics first. So go for the search report, patent landscaping or technological landscaping or white space if you want, and find out the gaps, study it properly, and how you are aligning with that white space. Is your research is also plays in the white space or not? You have to find out. If it is not, so you need to find out the area where you can do it in a better way. So on that, and the resources also, if uh, in that space the resources available, you can make or get the grants from the government, then it is good for you to go in this way.
So yeah, so now the follow-up question here is like, okay,
Deepak,
now
if I
I've
could just
decided.
add
Yeah.
on to this before we move to the follow-up question. So, answering your question, yes, a landscape analysis would be essential before you start the work for two reasons. One, you don't want to start on investing into a area where already there are a lot of patents and somebody has a similar thing done, right? And
Right.
secondly, you need to ensure you have the freedom to operate. And thirdly, I would, suggest that if you do a landscape analysis, you might be in a position to see there's already an IP. Rather than investing my money and time and resources in reinventing the wheel, I could rather have it licensed in. So, you could use that white space analysis to your benefit from different angles. And when you have grants, like from different agencies, especially the government one, some of them do have heads for the IP protection. And there are other grants for startup where they support the startups in filing. I know few. Maybe we could reach out to you and I could share those details with you in a mail, and you could see if that is suitable for you. And
Yeah.
sorry, yes, please go ahead with your follow-on question.
Yeah, so the follow-on is like, now yes, we understand that we're in a crowded space and there is a very narrow area that we navigate, and we decide to go with the white space. And yeah, as you said, there are like a couple of support systems that we have. And now coming back to the people who, so now we do not have experience in doing this white space. There are apps and tools that can be done, but as an inventor or as a small team, no, we don't have the resources to deploy and do an extensive search, where we go for a third party like you guys who come on and do this entire work for us, and probably subsidized and non-subsidized. And choosing people like the experts. So should we like choose people who have like already worked in this area so that we get better results of our white space analysis, or like is it like anybody who can do a white space analysis irrespective of domain or agnostic way they can provide better insights? What is your suggestion there?
Deepak, I'm making a direct pitch to you. If you can choose us, we will bring in the difference because we know we are entrepreneurs ourselves. So we know the problems that entrepreneurs face. We know IP. And we are lending our eyes and mind to you because we would be analyzing it from a third party standpoint, right? Because I am in it's your baby, right? It's not my baby. So so I'm not in love with your baby. So I will be in a better position to look at it from a third eye, to see that what more could be done. I would give you an example where we helped a startup. They were trying to think of an application for a particular sector, but it could find application in other sectors also, and they filed two patents on it, and then they licensed the second one to another company and generated revenue for themselves. So since you are putting in a lot of resources to create something which may find application in some other domain also, so we would help you in identifying those two. And if there are any overlapping patterns, how to come out of those, how to ensure that you have the freedom to operate and also find the financial resources for it. So that is something that a third party who is well versed in it would be in a position to handhold you better.
Right. Okay. So I can no, just don't think I'm pushing it hard here. Just put it very blunt. Yes. So what I'm trying to tell is, like, I understand the third party perspective is different, but if I'm imagine, like, you'll put it in very simple terms. You're a YouTube reviewer of consumer electronics, and I'm making a car. So if I ask you to review my car, um, and it is a different perspective, right? No, you'll be giving different insights, and the person who's already being patents in for cars like might be giving a different insight. So how do you rationalize that part of the problem? Maybe like understanding the specifics of the technology, So does it matter? Doesn't matter? Does it not matter? Is one question. And if it matters, then how should we think about it? If it doesn't matter, yeah, that's right.
So for any technology, yes, you do need the technical expertise to be in a position to, do the justified analysis. But if you don't find that there are times when you have multiple expertise required, the technology is too complex. So that you need different head to who are specialized in different sectors. So then a generalized person would be better than a person who is too specialized into too many things, right? So answering your question, it would depend upon what you are looking at.
Yeah.
So you could, there are other factors also which you could look at before you engage somebody. What is their track record? What are their
Right.
experiences
The number of
like?
their how many
Yeah,
patents have they got granted and stuff like that. Like what is their track record in fighting white space
yes,
patents and stuff
yes,
like that. It's
exactly.
obviously that we look for, like that's a fundamental thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I think got it. Yeah, that's it.
sure. Thanks.
Yeah.
So also I want to include one thing, Deepak. So firstly, you need to identify the right person for that work. That is the main thing. And connecting to the right person will give you the better matlab, profitability. Not directly, indirectly, it is more profitable if you are building a team in which if you are having IP professionals and also with the tech persons, then it would be beneficial because you are in a startup phase, right? And if you're having one or two members like that, then it would be better. Or otherwise, you can also connect with us for the same thing.
Sure. Yeah, got it. I understand. So that's what it is like, being in business. Yeah, I understand that
And
certain things need.
there are matlab, proper grants are given by the government for this type of initiatives like e-vehicles, e-mobility.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also they are providing the funds for filing patents as well.
But Gauri, again,
Do
this is a very Ajesha, because we also try to look for it, but again, it becomes very difficult for us to go through all these grants and patents, because patents are the most expensive. Because right now we have about identified 50 different techs that we can patent for, but the cost becomes very high. And we know that we have filed for one or two, but we can file for another 5 or 6, which are very critical for India itself, not only for us as a company, but for India itself, to showcase that we are in the EV space. We have developed certain techs better than most of the other countries that have already been there for so many years. But then again, getting the grants or resources and know-how on that part, that is again a challenge that we face as a startup, because none of the incubators or others work on R&D and patents for R&D and products. Mostly it is only for getting the fast pace like e-com business and other businesses similar to that.
Okay. So you already filed a 5-6 patents, right?
Not 5.
Yeah.
So you are going to file, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have filed a couple of patents. That was like, yeah, it was very early stages. Like this is something we found out in the hard way on, how to go about with patents. Earlier, there were like a couple of provisions we filed based on technology. There were some things we researched by ourselves. We did file certain things. Now we have a better clarity on how to structure the entire, patents and stuff like that, rather than going about
Like
doing
this,
it
we didn't have
a bit
resources
randomly.
yeah, like this, we didn't have anyone coming up and saying, "Hey, we will help you with the patents," or startup TN, or anyone trying to put up some where they can connect us to patent engineers and others. So I think that is one advantage in the last 4 5 years that has happened. So we are able to meet you people on Zoom, at least know the basics and know what we will be able to do and how we will be able to utilize both your services and ours in terms of how we can collaborate and work together.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Sure, absolutely, Ajesh. There are few grants which are there for the IP filing thing. We will be sharing out that information. I have shared a link with you in the message as well. So you could follow that. You will find the information on the IP grants there.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other questions, anyone? And I would request to please do fill in the feedback form for us.
Yeah.
And if I can have everybody on camera to click a lovely picture. My team members are reminding me, get a picture, get a picture. So let's have the camera on and click a picture.
Today, pictures are very critical and important.
Yes.
Pooja, I have a question, though we are in the same team, but I thought I'll ask. When we apply for a patent, the timeline to get the patent is, I believe, 12 to 18 months, isn't it?
No,
Right
so it's
from
3.
application to grant.
There are 2 pathways to it. One is an expedited pathway, which is faster, but it is expensive. You have to pay for each stage. And the normal rate right now in India is 3 years.
Okay.
And
Now,
and if
I'm
you're
going
stuck
back
with
to the
somebody, then
question.
yes.
Because when I was listening to Ajay's thing, the technology is changing on a regular basis, and everybody is coming with new ideas, and they have some ideas and they apply file. Now, if I file something and something which is similar is also filed by, I won't call them a competitor, maybe my colleague or someone I don't know but has the same idea. Now, whoever applies first gets the patent, or I mean, there will be some assessment there.
So the one who applies first would get the patent,
Gets
but then
it.
you could oppose it by showing that you have invented first. But then for that, you need to have lot of data to prove it. You need to have the dated notebooks and everything to show as evidence.
So they may call you for a scrutiny if they find two patent of similar application.
No, not
Okay.
necessarily.
One question.
Person.
One question from my side, ma'am. Sometimes worldwide, same type of the patents or same type of specification or design, um, um, same type of the patents are doing in same times. And someone filing one example in Europe, one patentee file the same design before 1 month, another in India after 1 month filing, but sometimes taking the published date 1 year, and utility patents taking 1 year, and design patents taking less of time. So that times, which one patents granted, filing date or published date?
The date of filing.
Date of filing. Which one is considered?
The date of
Okay.
filing is the one is considered, and the term of the patent would also start from the date of filing.